Hey everyone, it's Mark again, and this is episode 8 of my Minecraft Stoneblock Let's Play series. I am down below our mob grinder, and this is new. I set up a little system to go ahead and take these patient loot bags and start opening them. As I mentioned before, these patient bags open and either give you another patient bag, or they have a very tiny chance of giving you another star. So this has been running for a while, and to see how it's set up, it's just a bunch of item conduits. This conduit pulls on green out of the drawer that's storing the excess and sticks it into all of these loot bag openers. And you will notice that I did set this to round robin, so it's essentially spreading the loot bags around over all 6 of these bag openers. The bag openers are really easy to make. I don't know if I've looked at that recipe before, but a bag opener, as you can see, it's just a little bit of stone, a chest, and an iron ingot. So they're dead easy to make, and I just made 6 and threw them here to open some patient bags, because eventually we want some, ta-da, nether stars. We got that really fast. We got lucky. Usually they take a long time to open. This has been running for about an hour, maybe 2. But that does complete a quest for us, and we probably have a couple other quests in here too. We do, because I've been making a couple other things. So let's go ahead and claim some quest rewards. I did make some upgraded cobblestone generators for my next project, and by making some, I made one and upgraded it a couple times. We actually have one more quest somewhere. Yeah, the controller slave, which I never turned in. So let's see if we get anything good. We get some storage components, which are good. Some upgrades. Another diamond furnace, which we probably don't need at this point, since we have, I think, 3 now. And some costume stuff, which I don't really care about. In fact, I don't care so much. I'm just going to pitch it. Anyhow. So I have a project in mind for this episode. And what I want to do is, I was going to start making some AE2 stuff, and I realized we don't have a good way to get silicon. And we also don't have a good way to get a lot of sort of the basic ingredients like clay and dirt and gravel and sand and cobblestone. Well, we have cobblestone, but we don't have it hooked up to our drawer system. So I would like today to work on sort of a blockworks factory that's going to give us those basic blocks. Let me look at my list real quick. My targets are cobblestone, smooth stone, gravel, sand, clay, and dirt. And I'm going to do that by pulling some resources that were growing. Remember, we planted like dirt and stone essence a while ago. I'm going to use those resources to make some basic blocks. In order to do that, I'm going to use the crafter, this crafter right here from RF Tools. There are 3 levels of this crafter. They're all pretty easy to make. They basically give you access to more recipes per crafter as you go up the scale. We only need the basic crafter, and I think we need 5 of these. So I'm going to make 1 machine frame because I know we have 4 in here. And then I'm just going to make 5 of these crafters. And I had done some pre-crafting, so I knew we could do that. I think that's all we need up here. So let's go down to the storage room. Looking in here, I have been slowly filling out the drawers. Added a few drawers up there. And basically trying to get this all organized. It's not complete yet, but we are. Yeah, you can see we still have some junk in here, but not a whole lot. That's all coming from the loot area probably, except for that energized wool. Not sure where that came from. Anyhow, I have cleared out an area back behind here, and these are the blocks that we want to make, and that's the back of the drawer controller for the storage room. So we're going to access that using, get this other bag here real quick. We are going to use some item conduits again, and I'm going to tap into this. And I'm going to extract on green, always active, but I'm going to actually leave that off for now. And I'm also going to insert on brown because that is how we're going to send the blocks we make back into the system. So let's start with the easy one, cobblestone. We know how to make cobblestone, and somewhere in here, there it is. I've made a cobblestone generator. So if I stick this here, it's going to start making cobblestone, which I should be able to right-click out of here, I think. No? I thought you could right-click out of that. That's odd. Left-click. Of course. It's backwards. So I'm going to just run this over along the back here. And I'm going to just... I have no idea. Oh, I'm sitting on a torch. I am going to extract on brown, always active, and that is immediately going to start emptying the cobblestone out of this. And if we run around the front real quick, we can see that there's our cobblestone drawer, and you can see that it's slowly filling up with cobblestone. So the next step is let's do some gravel. And to make gravel, we are going to use one of these crafters, and these do require power. So the gravel recipe we want is this one. 2 stone essence and 2 dirt essence make gravel. So if I go in here and look at essence, I'm just going to go ahead and pull out, I don't need dye essence. We're going to need fire, and we're going to need stone, and that should be it. If I go in here, and this is complicated looking, but it's not really that hard. So I click this recipe, and I sort of right click to fill in the blanks here. And that's what it's going to make. And the other thing I want to do is this sets where the results of the crafting go. You can either set it to go into this, which is the input slot, or go down here, which is the output slot. We're just going to output because we're just doing a one-pass thing. I'm also going to have this, I'm going to put one in each slot here, a little more, and have it remember this setting, because that ensures that both of these materials will be able to flow into this crafter no matter how much we have in the main system. It'll sort of reserve these slots. So I'm going to apply this recipe. We can now make this. We don't have power yet. We're not dealing with redstone, and this is running at slow speed, which is plenty fast for us. So that should be our gravel working. The next thing I need to do is give these guys some power. So I've got some conduits here. I'm going to go ahead and just run some cables along the top. Oops, and I'm going to run the wrong cables apparently, because those are item conduits. Let's do this again. And I was going to do a spectral coil, but I can't actually do that. So let's do a flux point. I think I probably have what it takes to make a flux point here real quick. Why are you not? Oh, this is another weirdness of this thing. You have to click off on that interface to lose focus on that window. So flux point. This is for removing energy from a system. So we need 4 of these, which we need obsidian, which is all upstairs. So the still unfortunate thing about trying to craft in remote locations when you don't have all your materials. I'm going to grab a stack of obsidian just to be sure I have what I need. Okay. Now that we're back down here, we should just be able to craft a set of those, and then we can craft this. There's our flux point. So I can stick a flux point on here, and as usual, set it to the network, and it's going to immediately start filling this up. And this is already crafted. You can see it used up all the materials that I put here. It made some gravel, stuck it down there. So now, since this is running, I can go ahead and say extract on brown, always active, and insert on green, but I want to filter those inputs, and I want to filter those inputs to, get my filters here. I want to filter the inputs to dirt essence and stone essence. That's all I want this to accept. So if I click on here, put this here, and you can see that it's filtering those. The other thing I want to do is down under there, which I can get to. I need to set this to round robin because we are going to be using the same materials to make some of these items, and I want them distributed evenly across all the crafters we're going to create, just to make sure we get something approximating a fair setup here. Remember, that's still not extracting because I haven't turned on the I haven't turned off the set it to active yet. So this will make gravel. I'm going to go ahead and start it just so we can prove that it works. Always active. And this should start working soonish. Yeah, see, there's plenty of stone essence coming in here. It may actually have to backfill the whole inventory before it's going to start making it, because it's only going to extract one at a time. Oh, there it went. I suspect it may have actually put all the stone essence in here that we have in the system, though. That might be a problem. Let's see. This might not work as well as I thought. Yeah, it's taken pretty much all of the stone essence out of the system, and now it's taking all the dirt essence out of the system. So this might need a little more work, because we don't have that much essence. I mean, we'll get it eventually, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to go away for a minute. I'm going to set up a couple more of these. The other ones are set up, all these other ones are set up pretty much the same. They just have slightly different crafting recipes. So I'm going to set those up and see if I can figure out a way to get these a little better balanced as far as materials coming out. So I will be back in a minute. Okay, so I set all these up. You can see that they all have, there's gravel, sand, clay, stone, and dirt. They all have their inventory set up to only accept what they need. I think, let me just double check and make sure. Well, that's very odd. Why aren't you showing that recipe? There it is. Let me just double check to make sure I set this. Oh, that's very odd. I know I set those up. Where did my conduits go? I'm not sure what happened there. I cleaned up my inventory too soon. So that's earth and that's stone. That's a little worrisome. Alright, well, we'll see what happens. This just wants dirt. It goes in here, and I should have another filter, which I can set to just filter stone. Yep. And that goes in here. So now everything should be accepting only what it needs. If we look back over here, it's really hard to get to. This is inserting on brown. These are all extracting, but all except these, which I didn't update. That is really strange. I don't know what happened to those. Okay. So if I set this to start extracting, it should start filling these up. And I don't know which essence it's going to start pulling out first. And I don't know why it's sticking all the dirt in the first one, because that's not what it's supposed to do. No, it isn't. It just had a pile in there already. So, I'm not sure how fast this is all going to be, because we only have a limited amount of essence right now. Like, this is getting none so far. Let me go look at our supplies over here. It is working, it's just not working very fast, which actually isn't terrible. Our cobblestone's working fine. It's filled because that's just a cobble generator. Yeah, we got a ton of gravel. So that was not particularly useful. Eventually what will happen is if one of these fills up, it'll start backstuffing, and the others will get the inventory. I don't know why it's pushing all this into this one exclusively, because these are all set. Oh no. That is the cobblestone generator. Insert on green, 0 priority. So they all have the same priority, so they should all be receiving equal amounts. It could just be that I don't have enough essence to give this a real test yet, because as you can see, it's completely emptied all the essence but the water essence. And why is the water essence not coming in here? Did I not set that filter correctly? Oh, I totally didn't set that filter correctly. Because you need clay recipe. I don't know why that doesn't show. The clay recipe needs dirt essence and water essence, and for some reason I have the wrong filter in there. Probably because I'm stupid. So let me go ahead and just pull some of this out. Oops. And this is the right one. Clay. We can overwrite that. That would explain why it's not getting anything. And then water. And that should start making clay pretty quickly, or at least start moving the water essence in fairly quickly. There we go. At least we're getting water essence. So if I stick this in here, that'll make clay. So, this may be a slightly failed experiment because I don't know if we're going to get enough essence flowing through here to make what we need. I mean, we should eventually. I think I'll have to let it run for a while, see what happens. Sometimes that's the only thing you can do. So let's just look at smooth stone here. Smooth stone, we have 3 stacks plus 60. And gravel, we have 29 stacks plus 55. So come back here in a bit and see what's going on. We can use those as a test case. Let's make sure our farm is actually harvesting. But to do that, we actually need to go to the farm. So I'm wondering now if perhaps I did take down the extra fields here because I think 2 3x3s are giving us plenty of resources. Rice and wheat. So yeah, all these are growing. Not super fast. I bet I can upgrade those. Yeah. Let's upgrade those to tier 3. That should help a little. They are not growing particularly fast. I mean, they are growing. Just not super fast. What I may have to do is just increase the number that we have here. Pick that up while I'm here. Chickens are still going to town. All right. I do have another project for today. I also want to do a little upgrading on our mob farm because it's doing an adequate job, but I kind of want it to do a great job. I'm going to get rid of those for now. And I actually want to make the mob grinder from mob grinding utilities. And this is going to take a bunch of iron. But we have tons of iron. So let me grab a bunch of iron. We need a block of redstone and some diamonds, which we have now. I've been grinding the diamond armor that's been showing up in our loot bags and using it to do and that turns it into diamonds since we have a pulverizer. So let's grab some iron and we'll grab a couple blocks. We need to make, I think we need to make like 9 swords. So let's do that. We need to make 2 of these. I made 1 too many swords. And all we need is a block of redstone, which I know we have in here. So there's our mob grinder. And this isn't a huge upgrade as it sits, but I need a lever. But the mob grinder, wow, totally lost. The mob grinder will actually let us apply upgrades that give it more killing power and drop better loot. So I did install a light system in here just so I can get in and out without having to deal with monsters spawning on top of me. So I'm going to go ahead and break those. And I should be able to just stick this here. And if I put... oh, great. You picked up everything and put it downstairs. And promptly threw it all away. Oh well. It's not a big deal. I will stick a regular cobblestone there, or an iron block perhaps. So if I apply a lever to that, sometimes the absorption hopper is a pain in the butt. Let me make another lever. And this time I will try I'm full on cobblestone. Alright, let's actually... There. You can see that the mob grinder is running. So it is going to give us options for upgrades. And that will be nice because we'll basically end up with more loot because we have the luck upgrade, we have beheading. I think that makes it kill things faster, and there's beheading. I don't remember what all the upgrades do actually. So we have more damage, luck, burns mobs, I guess, kills undead, kills spiders, which you don't really care about, and beheading, which gives us more mob skulls. So we'll probably at least put sharpness, the luck, the looting upgrade, and beheading in there. But for now, we can let it run as is. And I can turn off the lights. And I think I've probably got some light leakage here. Yep. No, that's actually pretty dark. So I'm going to let that run. I'm probably going to make another one just to see what kind of drops we get out of it. The other thing I want to do, I think, is get rid of the fans and replace them all with vector plates. Because the fans are fairly slow and the vector plates just get the mobs cleared out faster so more mobs can spawn. So, if I come down here... Oh. While we're down here, this did in fact back up. We ended up with no water buckets and a complete set of rice dough in here, so I installed a storage drawer for the rice balls. It has a stack upgrade in it. It also has a void upgrade, so this will never fill up. Essentially, we can continually make rice slime balls. Which means that we'll never have a backup of dough and we'll always have water buckets available. So it solves that problem at the expense of eventually we'll fill this up with rice slime balls, very, very slowly. And as we use more power, I suspect that this won't fill up at all. And this is bi-directional, so if there's space over here, this is going to pump slime balls into the generators for us, so the generators keep running. It'll be nice because it'll serve as a bit of a power backup. But 64 slime balls ought to be good for now, because the vector plates take slime balls. So let's look at vector plates. The basic vector plates aren't too hard. They're just some stone, some sugar, slime balls, and iron ingots. I think we have all that. Do we have sugar in the system? We do. So we need, man, losing my mind. Iron, sugar, and stone. Stone was the other thing we needed. So we should be able to make a bunch of vector plates. That's way more than we need. I'll make a stack. Oh, I was actually using the other slime balls. I'm going to leave those in there for now. I'm going to stick, I hope, those in there. If I have time today, what I'd also like to do is... all right. That's the other problem with the fans, is they only blow one direction. With the vector plates, we can actually... let me actually turn off the fans so I can work. With the vector plates, you can actually force the mobs to always run into the mob grinder. They're just a little more efficient. And there are upgraded vector plates which are even faster. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the fans. And do I have stone? I do have stone, so I'm just going to seal this off real quick. So putting these down, you have to face the direction you want them to go, and if you hold shift while you're doing it, they won't move you, but as soon as you let go, you're going to start sliding. You can see they move you pretty quickly. So I am going to do, yeah, sure, why not? Do that, and then this, and this. I'm just going to pick this up. And for now, I'm just going to do that. Did I get any of those slabs? I did not. Well, I can make a set of slabs real quick. Let me just do that. And I will need another lever because I just dropped that one in the system. So let me make a lever so I can turn the mob grinder back on. And turn the light off. And it's a dark room, and mobs can spawn on vector plates even though they don't show that they can spawn on vector plates. They're considered a sort of invisible block. So that should give us a better return from our mob farm. We're kind of running out of time here, so I'm not going to be able to do the next thing I wanted to do, which was start generating some wither skeletons so we could get drops of evil. The next upgrade I want to do in the mob farm is replace the floor with cursed earth. Cursed Earth generates stronger mobs and generates a lot of mobs, so those small mob farms we have will certainly give us plenty of loot bags, and that's really what I'm after in the long run. The other thing I didn't get to do was I didn't get to process the silicon we need for moving on to AE2. And I know we used some silicon earlier, and that was right here. This is silicon from Ender.io, but if you look at JEI, there are two silicons in here, and pretty much everything else, like chickens. Oh no, they do. They say Ender.io. That's interesting. The silicons get confusing. There's actually 3 silicons. Great. So we're making silicon. I made silicon seeds, so the silicon seeds are going to produce silicon for us. Well, they're going to produce silicon essence, and silicon essence is going to produce silicon for us. And that is applied energistics. So the problem I had at one point was you can't mix silicon. So I'm keeping this silicon out of the system until we actually start making silicon using essences, which is going to be a process very much like our dirt and very much like these blocks. And that is going to get us the stuff we need to actually do AE2, which is, hopefully, knock wood, the next thing that's on the slate. So we were at 29 blocks or 29 stacks and 55 gravel. So you can see we've made a few gravel, and we were at 3 plus 60 stone. So we've made no stone. That is a bit disappointing. I am going to have to figure out something better to do here, because this has gotten 1 stone essence, and that is, oh, but I pulled stone out of the system to make these slabs, and I pulled a full stack out. So we actually have more stone in the system than I thought. So I think it's all working. I'm going to monitor this and see where it goes. I guess we'll see. Sometimes you just have to let things run and see how it works. I'm going to actually note down all of these values and see where they come out after I've done some other stuff around the base for a while. So I think that's where we're going to wrap it up today. We ran a little longer than I wanted to, but we got some stuff done, just not very, wasn't very satisfying. So anyhow, I'm going to call it quits there. Thanks for watching, as always. If you enjoyed what you saw, even though it was chaotic and not very satisfactory, please leave a like. If you want to keep up with the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching again, and have a great day.